We just got out of Star Wars episode, whatever episode we're on, 9, 12, 13. I wish it would have been 9 or 12 or 13.
It is 9.
Yeah, we just got out of episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
That's the name of the movie.
Yes, it is. Caleb, what you think about this movie?
You know.
It's a real mixed bag, folks.
No, it's not a mixed bag.
It is a mixed bag.
It's not a good movie.
No,
and here's like, you know what?
Not.
You know what? The Last Jedi. People can say what they want to say about The Last Jedi. I remember watching The Last Jedi twice in theaters, just to see like if I'd like it the second time like I did the first time. And that movie has cinematic moments in it. It has moments that give you goosebumps. It has moments that are unpredictable and they catch you off guard for better or for worse. This movie, you know what Martin Scorsese was talking about, things that aren't cinema, MCU? This is what he should refer to. This is not cinema. This is J.J. Abrams being like, well, I'm going to give you everything you wanted in the series because apparently we didn't give it to you in the first 2 movies. I'm going to give it to you in this movie regardless if it makes sense or if it's earned, because there is not 1 ounce of this movie or the 1 ounce of emotion that it's trying to convey that feels earned to me. I didn't feel anything.
Nothing landed.
I did not feel,
as far as emotional moments.
I didn't feel anything during this movie.
My expectations, folks, for this movie, if you've seen me on Facebook over the last 12-15 hours, maybe the last 2 days, yeah. I just wanted this movie not to suck. That's what I wanted. Yeah. And I went in with such low expectations, and some of them did pay off. I will admit, some of them did pay off. Some of the expectations.
Interested to hear those.
That will be in the notes.
I meant later. Car ride. I meant later when you're talking to me. Yeah, I'm interested to hear those.
However, I will say this much: I liked The Last Jedi better than this movie.
I like The Last Jedi. Actually, I like The Last Jedi.
I don't.
The Last Jedi is like way better than this movie. And The Last Jedi is an absolute mess. Like, it's a mess. It has like an entire middle section you could take out and it wouldn't change the movie. But this movie, you could take the whole movie out and it would, whenever the plot comes in, the actual plot, which comes at about, I don't know, an hour into the movie because the first act is nothing.
The first act, folks,
honestly,
is course correction from Last Jedi.
No,
hold on, wait, let me finish. The first hour, the first 10 minutes of the movie sets up the second half of the film. Then the first act into the second half, or into the first half of the film, is course correction from Last Jedi. The problem is they don't go anywhere. Nothing happens in that first hour to veer us into the second hour. Nothing. You name on our ride home, because we're not going to give you any spoilers in this movie. I want you to tell me one thing that happened other than the first 10 minutes. Folks, Palpatine's in the first 10 minutes of the movie. That's not a spoiler.
We know Palpatine's in the movie.
Right. First 10 minutes of the movie.
The movie is like kind of he's a big part of the movie.
You know what this movie suffers from? Traileritis. Yeah,
I'm not gonna blame the trailer on this movie.
I am. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Everything in the movie is in the trailer. I mean, all of their big impact moments are in the trailer.
Out of the 3 new movies, this does give away the most in the trailer.
And that's sad.
I remember The Last Jedi didn't give away like anything in the trailer.
Here's the thing, like, if they wouldn't have give away Palpatine in the trailer, that'd have been cool. That'd have been really cool. It'd been grasping. It would have been jumping the shark and grasping at straws. But it would have been cool.
I'll tell you why it wouldn't be cool. Why it still wouldn't be cool. Because whenever that, I'll tell you, I'm not. Again, don't want to give away any plot details of what the movie's about or anything.
You're fine.
But is it called the scroll at the beginning of the movie? Is that what it's called? The thing that you're reading? Is that what they call it?
Yes, the scroll. Yes.
Whenever that comes up and it's saying what it's saying, I'm like,
yeah.
huh. Like, God. Huh. And I feel like the movie never explains how we get to that.
It doesn't.
Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, this movie is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous movie. Like, the fact that they're like, okay, well, we've run out of options here. Let's throw this at them.
Okay, here's the thing. And people hark back to the original trilogy all the time. It's old, it's stale. However, the original trilogy had a coherent storyline. It went from point A to point B over 3 movies.
I think it did.
Force Awakens, if you're looking at Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, we have point A, point B, point E.
Yeah. No,
your section from point B to point E, there's no identifying thing other than the scroll. And in New Hope, or Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi, the scrolls told you what happened between the thing.
Yeah. And in this one, they tell us something.
How did Kylo Ren know that the Emperor was alive? How did Kylo Ren know that he needed to find that little torch thing, or that little thingy? That's not a spoiler. It doesn't matter. The little compass thingy.
Whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah.
How did he know? Did he read the sacred Jedi texts that Luke had on the island with him while he was training? Possibly. It's not explained, but possibly. Did the Emperor call out to Kylo Ren? There's nothing that helps us go from that end point in Last Jedi to Rise of Skywalker.
No,
nothing.
Absolutely not.
And if there's a novelization or something, you should tell people to read that before you go into the film. But they ain't. And that's where JJ suffers, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Because one thing, J.J. Abrams, if he wanted to direct this movie, fine. J.J. Abrams makes space look cool. Sure. Like, the movie looked cool.
Yeah.
But, as a writer, not that great when it comes to Star Wars.
Who wrote this movie? The writers of Batman v Superman.
With J.J. Abrams, right?
But they also wrote Argo, though, so, I absolutely do not give a shit about Star Wars. But I'm always looking forward to Star Wars because it's an event film. I remember being excited for The Force Awakens. The audience was electric. Movie's pretty good. I remember being excited for Rogue One.
Yep.
The audience was electric. People enjoyed it. I didn't really like Rogue One that much, but I get it. I remember being excited for The Last Jedi. I liked it decent the first time. I remember you loved it. You thought it was the best.
Yeah, I really did.
Thought it was the best Star Wars movie.
I thought it was the best Star Wars film until I went back and watched it again.
Yeah, me too.
And and here's the thing about that. I learned from that film to not come out of a movie with a bias.
Yeah.
And I did not go into you can say, well, your social media post said differently. Folks, half that shit I say on Facebook, I don't really mean. I don't. I went into this movie with a low expectation and a low bias that I'm probably not going to like it as much as the original trilogy, because when you're a Star Wars fan, that's what you base everything on. You base it on the original trilogy, and if you say you don't, you're a liar and you're not a Star Wars fan. Sorry, that's just how it is. As a movie film person, Star Wars film person, I don't dig into books and the canon and everything should be canon and everything is this, everything is that. No, I like the original 3 films. The prequels can give or take. If they're on, I'll watch them. Yeah. These 3 movies, and I'm speaking as a person right now that is a subpar Facebook, YouTube movie critic. These 3 movies do not work together as a trilogy.
No, it's a bad trilogy.
It's
like even though I think The Last Jedi is pretty good, it doesn't work that well as a sequel to The Force Awakens.
It doesn't.
And this doesn't work as a sequel to neither of them.
It does not. It doesn't mesh up for the fact that we've had Emperor Palpatine not talked about for 2 straight films.
Yeah.
Where's
that come from?
At all. And it's like, and what was funny is like J.J. Abrams is like, well, it would be a disservice to the fans not to bring Palpatine back.
Would it?
No, it's a disservice to the fans. Hold on. It's a disservice to the fans to try and play to nostalgia and not build on something new. And that's what this movie does. It builds on a nostalgia act that makes you feel like the love that you had for something as a kid and the love that you had for something as even an adult. And especially when, I remember the excitement that I had when episode 7 was announced. And the only thing that they had was the round table of everyone sitting around. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, all of them were sitting around a table talking about episode 7, and it's being made. 30 years after episode 6, we're going to get episode 7, a true sequel to the original trilogy. And it was good. Like, it was fine. It was it was a remake of 4 in some ways, but it was fine. Last Jedi didn't really play on Force Awakens as much.
Zero nostalgia.
But zero nostalgia. But I'll give, if I'm looking at Last Jedi compared to Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi is more of its own film, and I'll give it credit. It had balls to try and do something different.
Yeah.
But the problem is with Rise of Skywalker is that you have to try and course correction the things that people absolutely hated, including myself, in Last Jedi. But at the same time, you can't just wipe it away because it's there. Like the Force projection stuff.
I don't understand the Force. This new trilogy has brought it, because in the original trilogy, I got the Force. I understood it. But in this movie, especially in this movie, even more so than Last Jedi, I'm like, huh? This is what they're gonna do with the Force?
Like what
it's almost like they're Captain Marvel. With a character like Captain Marvel, that makes sense with her character, and she had 20 years to hone that skill. In this, your main character can use it just like, it's almost like a Deus Ex Machina, the way they use it.
Yeah.
Like, there's like no like stakes because of the Force almost.
And it's what bugs me about it is that in the first, and even in the prequel trilogy,
I've never seen it.
the first 3 movies,
Like the prequel trilogy.
yeah, episode 1, 2, and 3. You never see episode 1?
No.
Oh, set it up for the first 3 movies to be that the first 3 movies, the Force is the light versus the dark, and you can do a few cool little things. Fine. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, we kind of tread that line again of what is good, what is bad, and you can do a few little tricks. Rey and Kylo Ren in this movie can do shit that you don't even think is plausible, even with the laws of nature, not the laws of the Force, like not anything.
Not even cool.
It's like, hey, look, it can do this now, and you can do this, and you can do this. And what was funny is that I was saying to Michael through the whole movie, I was like, it's been 50 years since Return of the Jedi. Anything's possible, I guess. It's not really 50 years, but I just said that.
Yeah.
And you know what the problem with this movie is? One of the main problems with this movie is folks, watch The Mandalorian before you come watch this movie.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. Have you watched?
Because
have you watched all the Mandalorian episodes?
I have watched up to episode 6.
Okay.
However, a big crucial role in this movie of something that happens is introduced in The Mandalorian.
As I was watching this, I was like, thank God I'm caught up on The Mandalorian.
Because
there's something that happens in that. I'm like that hasn't happened in any other Star Wars movie.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's like yeah. In The Mandalorian, it makes a little bit more sense to me, but in this one, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I guess they're going with this. It's like, can we accept this for what it is? I'm not sure if I can accept it.
No, here's the problem with it. It's not the fact that they use it. It's the fact that they use it so damn much.
They used it like 3 times.
They use it 3 freaking times. 4 times. 4!
I thought it was only 2 or 3 times.
No, it's 4, dude. 4.
Is it? Okay.
4.
I believe you.
And I will tell you the parts here in a little bit. 4 times they use this thing that they've introduced in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going, but why?
Guys, come on.
Like,
Like,
it's
one time was enough.
It's bad writing.
No, this movie is very, very poorly written.
Like, it's just bad.
I think I'm gonna go into my biggest flaws of the movie.
We ain't got there yet.
I'm just to sort of like wrap things.
Sorry.
Just to sort of like critique the film as it is instead of like the lore and like all this stuff. As a film, the movie is kind of boring. It's kind of a boring movie. The special effects are good. De-aging sucks. The de-aging. There's 2 scenes in this movie where they use de-aging technology. I'm like, man, it's like The Irishman did this so much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I hope my face covered that up.
They use it on 3 different characters.
If not, Black Barmy right there.
They use it on 3 different characters, and only one of them is semi-acceptable. I think that
the Force Ghosts don't look good in this movie.
There are crucial.
They don't.
There are crucial character deaths that should crush us, and we feel nothing.
They don't.
Like, feel nothing. There's nothing to it. It's like, you guys really went out of your way to make that death not very meaningful. Like, you really did. Like, you tried really hard to not make that meaningful.
I think what happened with that, and this is just a nitpick thing, is the fact that the way it was shot. Makes sense?
Like I've said before, J.J. Abrams, I don't think he's that good of a visual director. Like, give Ron Johnson credit for this. He is an amazing visuul director. And that movie had amazing shots in it. It's just they also had some really goofy stuff. This movie has really goofy stuff. It's not shot that well.
Like,
so when you mix those together, it's a bad combination. And that's accumulation of what this movie is. It's not the worst thing ever. I don't even want to call it like a really bad movie. It's just not a good movie.
It's not a good Star Wars movie.
It's not a good Star Wars movie. It's not a good a good sci-fi movie. It's not a good adventure movie. There's like the character arcs, like none of it feels earned. Finn is proven to be completely useless throughout this trilogy. I'd even say Poe Dameron to some extent is mostly just a comedian in this movie. There's a lot of jokes in this movie, and
they don't land.
Most of them are like, thank God for 3CPO, I guess. He's the funniest guy in the movie.
C-3PO. Not 3CPO.
What else?
C-3PO.
Listen, I don't give a damn about these robots. There's 100 robots in this
droids.
Movie. They're robots to me. I don't know. I don't like the movie. I give it a C-. That's my score. I don't think it's a good movie. Last Jedi, I think it's far better.
Okay, here's
my
biggest flaws.
Don't like it.
Biggest flaws. And I know I've went on this rant and rave about the culture of Star Wars and all that stuff. It's not a Star Wars movie, folks. It's got the characters of Star Wars, but we're so far out from what the original, I'll even say the original 6 movies are. The lightsaber fights suck. They're awful.
They are not memorable.
They are awful. Like, because you know why? You know why? There's no stake involved, it feels like.
And when you've seen so many lightsaber battles, there's nothing new that they can do. And like we said, this doesn't feel like a natural sequel, so we don't necessarily care about the outcome of what these fights will bring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
do want you, when you can, and I'll send it to you tonight, I want you to watch episode 3's lightsaber fight.
I've seen it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's the best lightsaber fight in the whole series.
I've seen clips of all these movies.
My question is this. Hell, I'll even say Yoda and Palpatine's fight is cool. Granted, Yoda jumps around like a little, foot-tall,
Does he fight
thing.
Palpatine?
Yeah, in episode 3 he fights Palpatine.
Okay.
It looks cool. I mean, it's completely and utterly, implausible because of what
animation.
It is. But the thing of it is like, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, their lightsaber fight was real. It was choreographed. They did all of that. Except for, like, the part where they fly. Yeah, but that's whatever. That was cable work and everything. But anyway, it was all real. They literally spent months learning this lightsaber fight and doing all this stuff and making it look as cool that the most powerful 2 Jedis at the time, other than Yoda and Palpatine, whatever, made it look cool. There's not one lightsaber fight in these 3 movies that I feel...
I disagree. Last Jedi has an awesome one.
With...
And it ends up...
Oh, with Luke with Kylo and Luke?
With Kylo and Rey. That's one of the best scenes in the movie, and then it ends up not meaning anything. But
yeah,
that scene alone, that standalone scene is awesome.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't amount to anything.
That's the problem. These it's almost like horror movies with jump scares. If it's a jump scare that doesn't add to the movie, it just feels worthless and not memorable and annoying.
Well, the other problem is, too, for me, is a lot of people are going to argue, oh, this is a movie about, Kylo Ren's struggle within himself, and da-da-da. It don't mean shit in this movie. Nothing. It doesn't.
And I like Kylo Ren, but come on, guys, is this what you're gonna do?
Like, I don't know. What'd you give it?
I gave it a C-.
I give it a C-. I mean,
it's not a good movie.
It's whatever. Unfortunately, it's whatever.
Between this and the Game of Thrones finale, it's been a bad year with the exception of like Endgame. It's been kind of a bad year for big franchise finales.
I don't want to tell people not to watch the movie.
No, listen, if you're a Star Wars fan, you probably just need to watch it.
Yeah.
You might like it. I don't know. It's kind of boring to me. Not a fan.
I mean,
If I keep talking, I'm gonna lower it.
there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff I just want to like spoiler alert talk about, and I can't. But God, is it dumb? It's so dumb.
It's a dumb little movie.
It's so dumb. Like, it makes no sense. Like how we've went from there to there with no reason.
That's our review.